Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Tuesday, September the 23rd. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, the local share market is set to build on the previous session's gains, with ASX futures up around 0.1%. Global stocks rose overnight, while gold rallied to a new record as the US dollar weakened. On Wall Street, all three major US stock indices registered record closing highs for a third straight session, boosted by tech shares. The Nasdaq led the way, despite concerns prompted by President Trump's announced $100,000 fee for H-1B visas, which allow US employers to hire foreign workers in specialty fields such as technology and engineering. It's move criticised by tech companies because it could limit access to highly skilled workers. Nvidia shares jumped after the chipmaker said it would invest up to $100 billion in OpenAI and supply it with data center chips, linking two of the highest profile players in the AI race. Shares of Apple rose after Wedbush raised the stock's target price on strong demand signs for the iPhone 17. An Australian-founded Bitcoin miner Iron leapt, seeing its market cap almost double over the past month to $11.4 billion. Disney shares fell further after the entertainment conglomerate announced talk show host Jimmy Kimmel would return to the air on Tuesday, having been suspended for comments over Charlie Kirk's shooting death. And US-listed shares of gold miners tracked higher bullion prices. Well, new Federal Reserve Governor Stephen Miron has said that the central bank is misreading how tight it has set monetary policy and will put the job market at risk without aggressive rate cuts, saying the upshot is that monetary policy is well into restrictive territory, leaving short-term interest rates roughly 2 percentage points too tight risks unnecessary layoffs and higher unemployment. However, that opinion is at odds with some of his colleagues who feel the central bank needs to remain cautious about inflation, with Raphael Bostic saying, "I'm concerned about the inflation that has been too high for too long. So today I would not be moving or in favour of it, but we'll see what happens." And Alberto Muslim saying, "I support the 25 basis point reduction at the FOMC's policy rate last week as a precautionary move intended to support the labour market at full employment and against further weakening. However, I believe there is limited room for easing further without policy becoming overly accommodative." Well, markets are pricing a 90% chance of a 25 basis point cut at the Fed's October meeting, and US rate futures pricing in 44 basis points worth of cuts through to the end of the year, according to LSEG data. US Treasury yields have ticked higher as the market remained cautious about the Fed's next interest rate move. The US 10-year was up at 4.14% and the 2-year hitting a 3-week high at 3.6%. And the US dollar index fell around 1/3% on the day. The Aussie is sitting at 66 US cents. Well, oil prices are marginally lower as concerns of an oversupply outweigh geopolitical tensions in Russia and the Middle East. Brent crude futures at $66 a barrel. Copper was up marginally. Iron ore little changed at $106 a tonne. And gold has surged to a new all-time high, fueled by growing expectations of further US rate cuts and persistent safe haven demand amid political uncertainty, with flows into ETFs hitting a 3-year high. Spot gold up 1.7% to $3,746 an ounce. And Bitcoin has fallen back to around $113,000. Today we get global PMIs for both manufacturing and services for September. And on the corporate calendar, Myer will release its earnings report, while SiteMinder will hold an investor briefing. That is your day ahead. See you again tomorrow.